Welcome to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. This is not your typical financial radio show. As a licensed CPA, insurance agent, and investment advisory representative, Chris coaches his clients on a holistic view of financial well-being with an objective of providing a complete financial strategy to fund life's goals. Chris is here to guide you down the path to the financial serenity you deserve. Now, here's Chris Cooper.
All right, so good morning. One of the things I get often asked is, what is the most valuable resource I have available to me? And when we think about that, there's a lot that goes into that. You know, I love tax-free. So I think about tax-free things first and foremost. That to me is my favorite type of vehicle. Anything that gives me access to tax-free funds. So tax-free would be like Roth IRAs, Roth 401ks, give you access in most situations. There's some nuances there, of course, but in most qualified distributions is what they're technically called. But most of the case distributions done the right way are going to give you tax-free growth opportunity, and I cherish those significantly. Long-term care benefits, life insurance proceeds, all of these things provide tax efficiency for our goals, our legacy, because our goals do outlive us. But is that really the most important? Is that the most important resource we really have? And I'd say no. And the reason I say that, because I really believe that the most important resource we have is time. Time is something we cannot get back. There are only 24 hours a day. There are only 7 days a week. And there are only 52 weeks in a year. So we only have a limited amount of time. So we need to really think about what we're doing with our time, how we manage our time, what we want to do, what our goals are, and how we live our life, because we want to enjoy our life. That's why I spend most of the time I have with people talking about time, our goals, our objectives, and enjoying what we do. Memories last forever. So when we pass away, which we all will, sorry if it's new to you, sorry. But yeah, we're going to pass away. I don't think that's new to anybody. I hope not. We are going to pass away. And when we do, we want to make sure our monies go to the people we want it to go to. We don't want it to go to the government because we didn't plan ahead for the legacy side of what happens. We don't want it to go away to unnecessary taxation. We don't want it to go inefficiently to a care community because we didn't plan for our own healthcare risks. We want it to go to our children or a charity of choice, or friends, family, loved ones, doesn't matter, but they're the ones that are important. But you know what would be even nicer? What if we create some memories? So creating memories, enjoying the time we have, enjoying our lifestyle, that's really what I tend to focus on. So when we talk about planning, we talk about goals, we talk about what we want to do, why we're saving, when we want to retire, ultimately it's really a question about our time, what we want to do with our time, the value of time. It's precious. It's the hottest commodity we have, and we need to make sure we enjoy it. And that to me is really why we save. That's why we want to make good financial decisions. Because if we make good financial decisions, we save throughout our working years in the most tax efficient way possible. We make good, smart, long-term investment decisions. We give ourselves the ability to afford more time to enjoy our life. We deserve to enjoy our retirement years. We work hard. We want to enjoy what we do. I'm fortunate. I'm very fortunate to love what I do. Not everyone is. I appreciate the relationship I have with my clients, and I am so fortunate that I found a job that I absolutely love and get to wake up and enjoy helping people each and every day. That's not everybody. So for my situation, my definition of time is a little bit different simply because I enjoy what I do. That's incredibly powerful. But being able to have time to create those memories, time to enjoy what you do with your loved ones, and the ability to have the time you deserve to enjoy that lifestyle, that's, in my opinion, the most important aspect of what we do. And I love having conversations about time and about the importance of saving and why we save and what our goals are, because ultimately it really does give us the ability to enjoy our retirement. Stress-free, hopefully. There's a lot of noise going on in the world today. a lot of noise, politics, right? Economics, what's going on in the world? What's going on with inflation? What's going on in the markets? What's the latest earnings release of Wall Street company XYZ? Who cares? Who cares? If you focus on time, you focus on what you need to do, you focus on your goals, your objectives, and enjoying your lifestyle and create a plan that gives you the ability to have some peace of mind, man, I just think that's a way better way to enjoy that lifestyle you deserve. So I spend a lot of time talking to people about time and the value really of time. So that to me is a way that I add value to what we do. The conversation about time is so important. It's key. And our next guest helps people save their time as well. So I'm really excited to have him on board. So we'll talk to him in our next segment.
You're listening to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Request a free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, by visiting SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com.
Hey, it's Chris, and if you are worried about the risk of rising taxes, would like to keep your fair share, and reduce your partnership with the IRS, I'd like to send you a copy of my latest book, The New Holistic Retirement. You deserve a holistic and complete retirement plan. So why wait? Get on the path to financial serenity. All you have to do is request this book today.
Get your free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, at SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com. SerenityNowTax.com.
Hi, it's Vic Porcelli. You're listening to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper on 101.9 and 94.1 NewsTalk STL.
All right, what's going on, folks? So today I have the pleasure of sitting with my good buddy David True with Shield Pro Home Services. David, how you doing today, my man?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, what's going on today? What do you got scheduled today?
Oh, we always have plenty going on. There's always plenty going on, right, Chris?
Yeah, there is.
So a little bit of handyman work, getting to hang out with you for a little while.
Yeah.
Doing what business owners do, a million things in one day. I mean, it's just
makes
nature
sense.
of the beast.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing.
Keeps us entertained, right?
Absolutely. Well, if it didn't do that, I don't think I'd be in it. So
there you go. So, all right. So, David, you're a handyman. You offer handyman services. Now, what kind of folks do you help?
Yeah. Well, I offer a large spectrum. I offer my services to a large spectrum of clients. But truly the ones that I work with the most are going to be those who are like seniors,
sure,
who want to stay in their home, reside in their home.
And aging at home is a big deal. Like people, huge. That's where we want to stay as long as possible. But it's not always easy to do so because things like changing a light bulb can become cumbersome, and there's not a lot of places that offer those kind of things.
Nope. And we do that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to get up on, 20-foot ladders and change light bulbs on tall ceilings, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. And
better you than me. I've gotten more afraid of heights as I've gotten older. I don't know why.
Well, there's a lot of reasons why, but yes, we all get a little smarter as we get older, I think is how it goes.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
So you got the seniors that you help.
The seniors, yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Certainly the busy, middle-aged adults, right? The parents who have kids who are running them to the games, to their other activities, to their piano lessons, or to whatever art, their art classes, et cetera. And, they don't have time to mess around with fixing a toilet. But when the toilet breaks, they need the toilet fixed.
Yeah. So if you added soccer to that realm, you'd have me there listed. That's my world. And you have actually fixed a couple of my toilets. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
They're still working well. So
perfect. That's what I always like to hear,
Yeah. So David, I feel like, one thing that I like to mention is there's a lot that you do that is so much more efficient than the way I would do it, for example. And I'll give an example. You helped me build this studio and help me run some wires in here. And watching you throw a drill or throw the saw through the hole, cut through it, do the running of the wires, and I had holes in my wall. And then next thing you know, I have this smooth wall that's been perfectly repainted. I don't even know there was a hole in it. I don't think I could do that. There's something that's more art to it. and mudding, taping, all that stuff. I don't have it.
Yeah. I'm really glad you mentioned the word art. There is an art to the handyman world, and that's one thing that really hits me big time, Chris.
Yeah.
People who know me know that I play drums, and I've always been a musician all my life, but I could never do it full time. It just wasn't something that I could do, but I still play, regularly. But I knew it wasn't going to be full time. But I will tell you, since making the pivot a few years ago and coming into the handyman space, it's really using my creative juices in me, and that's what really drives my passion, is where I can still be creative in the work that I do.
Sure.
So yeah, it's all, and you know this so well as a financial planner, it is all about the plan, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And with handyman work, it's a lot of repair type work, right? And so you got to understand the end goal in it, right?
Right.
And the plan may have to be slightly altered, but the end goal never changes. So I knew what the end goal would look like with this wall. I knew what it needed to look like, and I knew how I was going to get there. And we went straight forward with this one. But things don't always happen like that in the world of handyman work.
Right.
That's why you got to be extremely efficient in with your time. And you also got to understand where you can tell somebody, this is not my wheelhouse, but I've got somebody for you who could take care of this for you.
So you build your network of expertise to surround you and for those things, because ultimately that's the objective. Help people.
Right.
Helping people.
Totally agree.
So what made you get into this line of work? Where did you find the need, and then what did you say, hey, I can fill this?
Yeah. So I started my life out working with my hands. I mowed yards in Chesterfield for many people in my subdivision and also outside of the subdivision. I also worked at Jiffy Lube as a grease monkey and worked with my hands that way. I just naturally went on to college, actually went in for music, got a music business degree, actually wanted to start a record label at that point. And here I was, all of a sudden, I'm right out of college trying to start a record label, and it doesn't go anywhere. I
feel like you have to know like P. Diddy or something to do that kind of stuff.
You do.
It's a little bit of who you know, I would bet.
It's all about your network.
Yeah.
I'm glad you hit on that too, because we will talk about that more. But anyways, I ended up going into finance for 20 years, all different types of lending and banking of all different realms. And I started helping small businesses with finance to help build their business. Well, I knew that wasn't going to be my end all be all. Yeah. And so a few years ago, the industry gave me the ability to say, I need to make a change. Yeah. It's time to make a change. But I had no idea what that was. So my network, right? I said, I'm going to go work with my hands, and I'm going to get back into this. I want to see what I can do on a daily basis. I want to see if this is truly,
because this was always a passion. It was
a passion behind the scenes. And I would work on my own house. I'd go work on on my mom's house or something like that. So I started networking, and I started working with different handymen across the St. Louis area. And they couldn't hire me on full time, and that was fine because I still was doing finance during the day or at night, and I was doing handyman work during the day. And so I began to pick up the tricks of the trade.
Okay.
I started also expanding my network by starting to meet other people. And I made the decision officially last May is when I created my own company, Shield Pro Home Services, which we're talking about today. And so a little over 1 year in business, and now I've got a couple of employees, and I'm looking to continue to grow that.
Very cool. Well, I know you do very quality work, and it helps alleviate from my life the stress of the unknown, right? I mean, you're going to come and hang some ceiling fans for me. I just feel like, I'm going to get up there, I'm going to take that thing down, like the wall is going to come down or the ceiling is going to collapse or something, because I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. It freaks me out every time I start a project, something goes wrong, and then it just ruins my entire day.
And it's not your wheelhouse.
It's definitely not my wheelhouse.
Why spend countless hours on a weekend trying to get through it and become frustrated with it? And you could still find success in the end,
right?
But you just could have, you could have hung out with your family. You could have gone and done something else, right? You could have gone and worked out. You could have, there's so many other things. And so that's where you have to understand your time and what is your time worth.
Right.
And so that's where, when we talk about planning and all that, one part of my business, we were talking about these one-off, fixing drywall, doing the ceiling fans, but part of my business that I'm truly passionate about and truly building right now are my maintenance plans.
Okay.
Right. So we were talking about planning, right? So many people are, they don't know what's going on in that house. Well, myself and my employees have the expertise to come into that house, and we're going to maintain the house for them. So we're going to be checking drains. We're going to be checking electrical wiring. We're going to be checking handrails, all different things. And so with that maintenance plan, so that's just the checks, right? So we're just doing normal checks. It's kind of like you take your car in and, for an oil change, and they're also checking, the coolant levels. They're checking
those inspections,
all the different
12-point inspection
yes,
things, right?
Exactly. 50 point, whatever it is now. So, and so anyways, but people don't realize what else is going on under that hood until a mechanic tells them. Well, that's as a handyman, we're coming in and looking underneath that house. We're looking at that house, at the bones and the structure of it to make sure that it is running at its most efficient capacity.
Okay.
And so beyond that, then, besides just doing the checks, then the people get hours with the package, which go towards repairing anything that we find. And then if something isn't of an urgent need, but they want to do something else, like let's say they want to have a room painted, or they want, it's a senior and they need handrails installed, right? On their front porch. So we'll use those hours that come with the package that they're already paying for to do that work. Okay. So it's already a prepaid plan, basically, is what it is. And so they can, and then if there's any additional work that needs to be done above and beyond those hours, then we just bill those hours separately.
Right.
And we set a price for them at the end, before we do the work.
So preemptive makes sense because you're able to solve some issues before they really become serious.
You got that right.
Which
and I can't tell you how many drains I have seen outside with leaves covering them, which then creates, guess what?
Right.
Flooded basements.
Absolutely. And now you got a real problem on your hands, and it's much more of an emergency when it could have been done right, prepared, thought about it, and we don't know what's going to happen, but doesn't it make sense to try to stop these things before they do?
It does. And that's what my approach is in life, is being proactive.
Absolutely.
You have to be proactive to stay on top of things. And as a homeowner, you need to make sure your home is operating in the most efficient way possible.
Right.
It is, the roof over your head, right? It has trinkets in it that, hold significant value to you, whether they have any monetary value or not. And imagine that just all of a sudden going up in a flood one day.
Right. Yeah.
Like you said, like we were talking about with seniors, handrails are huge. I can't tell you how many seniors I still want my friends to come over and play bingo or play bridge or play, all the different games. But, I've got this friend who can't walk very well. And, I've got this large porch here and there's nothing to hold on to.
Yeah.
And so, and they need help with that. And so, this just happened right over here in Chesterfield. So I installed the railing for her. And then all of a sudden she realized, oh, I need this too.
Yeah.
Because she realized I'm not as steady on my feet anymore. And so.
Which makes sense. And that's a normal part of life. And unfortunately, I talk about things that are not always comfortable to talk about. That's part of what I do, right? Is have uncomfortable topics. And I tell people, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to need help. It's okay to reach out. It's okay to say, you know what, this is not my wheelhouse, but we got to enjoy our life.
Right.
Have some fun.
Yep.
And that's really what it's all about. And if you can help people, and gosh, I know you love what you do.
I do. Absolutely. All right. Let's be doing this. Trust me. As you and I both know as business owners, we put in a lot of hours that many people do not see.
Yeah.
Right. And so, of course, it's a burning desire for me. It's a burning passion, and building those strong relationships with clients.
That's what it's about.
I mean, we really struggle in this world today with doing that. And especially in the handyman world, I still see horror stories all the time, of people getting ripped off and all that. And, my passion is to change that in the industry, to be a trusted partner, advisor, and handyman for clients who need my services.
Oh, speaking to the choir. That's beautiful. Makes me want to cry, buddy. Thanks for coming in, man. Hey, this has been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
I really appreciate you inviting me onto the show.
Yeah.
Your space is beautiful out here.
Thank you.
And I know how passionate you are about doing this and getting the information out to your clients and future clients and referral partners. And so I really appreciate your time and having me in today.
No worries, buddy. Always a pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
You're listening to Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Request a free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, by visiting SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com.
All right, so if you need some help around the house, and really, trust me, everybody does, visit my friend David with Shield Pro Home Services. You can get a hold of David at 314-566-6200 or go to shieldprohs.com. Don't let those worries wait and weigh you down. Head to Shield Pro Home Services and make sure you get things taken care of in advance.
This is Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper.
All right, so working with David, I can tell you for a fact he has helped make my life easier and give me more time back in my schedule to do what I'm good at, and that's helping people talk about their financial needs. And I am really appreciative of watching somebody who's really good at what they do make my life easier, because I can tell you, watching some, the drywall and patching holes, I am awful. I'm terrible. It would take me forever. It stresses me out. I don't want to do it. So I sit there and stare at a hole forever. And then it's going to take me all day just to think about what to do. I don't have the right supplies. Then I'm going to go get the right supplies. I'm probably going to have 5 trips to the home improvement store in that process as well. And then it's not even going to look good because I don't know what I'm doing, because it's not my area of expertise. So relying on professionals to help make your goals and make your life easier gives you back time. Gives you back time to do the things you want to do. Or in my case, to do things that I need to do because it's what I'm good at. I'm good in the financial area. I'm good working with my clients. I'm good talking about taxes, tax efficiencies, and how to save and to spend our monies in the most tax efficient way possible. That's what I need to focus my time on. And working with professionals in areas where I am not the expert on gives me the ability to stay focused on what I'm good at. And that to me is the biggest value of working with a professional to help meet your objectives. Because ultimately, they know things that you don't. Okay? They're going to do things more efficiently. Even if you kind of know what to do, like I kind of know how to, paint a wall. But I'm telling you, when I watch somebody that actually paints for a living, holy cow, I realize I'm way out of my league. It takes me a whole day just to paint a bathroom. They can paint a whole house in a day. Knowing where your skill sets lie and knowing when it's time to say, you know what, I'm good. I need to engage an expert to help me better manage my life gives you back time. And if we have time in our side, we can do a lot of cool things, okay? So thinking about time on our side, what's some cool things we can do with time on our side? We don't necessarily care as much about market volatility and what's going on in the stock market each and every day if we've got time, right? If we've got multiple years ahead of us, we can handle some of those ups and downs that go, of course, with the markets. As long as we invest intelligently, stay diversified, usually the markets perform well over time. But there are years where declines happen. There are, absolutely, okay? You can go back through history and you'd see there are a lot of gains, there are some negatives. We need to make sure we can weather those storms, and time gives us the ability to weather those storms efficiently and effectively, because negatives impact us when we take money out. Negatives impact us at withdrawal, when we take money out because we fund our lifestyle. And that's when the losses can hurt you, because money spent on lifestyle, money spent on a vacation, money spent on food cannot recover in a down market. If you sell because the market's down, you need it to buy gas or food or pay the mortgage, whatever it is, it's gone. Once you sell, it's gone if you spend it. The way the market works is you got to stay long-term and focused and within your risk tolerance. And if you can do those kinds of things over time, it tends to perform. It has historically, at least. Now, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. That's why we stay diversified, right? But time on your side helps accomplish goals and objectives. So we have to be diversified. We have to think about those kinds of things. But ultimately, time is that gift that gives us the ability to do it. Okay. Now, what if you don't have time, right? What if we're retired and, the markets are up and down and taking money out? That's okay. We need to make sure we protect that income gap. That's okay. It's normal. You have to stay diversified, but your risk levels change. Your income needs change. So now we need income. Income, we don't want to ever sell that at a loss. So we need to make sure we protect that gap. That's what a diversified and holistic strategy does. Okay. Where else can time be valuable? Thinking about legacy, thinking about our goals, thinking about our partnership with the U.S. government through tax risk, right? Higher taxes. It's a big deal. It's a big thing, and it is a significant risk. And oftentimes people don't think about it, and we're scared to make actions when it comes to taxes. We're afraid it's going to do something because we're conditioned in today's society to go, I need to lower my tax bill today. Well, that's kind of a micro view of tax risk, isn't it? It's a very small lens focused on taxes today. Most people are worried about what happened last year, right? Because they get their tax return done once a year, and they hope they get a refund back. What if I told you I hope I don't get a refund back? Because if I got a refund, that tells me I gave a government loan for free. That's what I really did. I loaned the government money at a 0% interest rate. They don't let you do that. So why would I want to do that? I never want to get a dime back. I don't mind owing a little. I don't want to pay a penalty, but I don't mind owing. Okay? We want to make sure we know why we do certain things, and we want to save in the most tax efficient way possible. Time can help understand these things by managing our goals more effectively, understanding how things really truly work, and making sure we have time to set things up in advance. Required minimum distributions. The government's going to make us take money out at some point in time. Right now it's 73. Okay, government's going to force you to take money out on their time, their schedule, not on yours, at a rate that they control. Well, if time's on our side, we have the ability to plan in advance, do some things differently, reduce our tax exposure, and give us the ability to convert more of that to tax-free income streams. There's a lot of tax-free income streams exist, okay? Roth is one example, okay? Planning for long-term care is actually creating a tax-free income pool. It's creating a tax-free income pool for long-term care, for assistance, for special assistance that we might need as we get older. We're living longer lives. It's awesome. Hopefully we can enjoy them. But what if? What if we need some assistance getting around? It's okay. It's okay to need assistance as we get older. We want to stay at home as long as possible. David does a really good job helping people stay in their home. I love talking to him about how he helps people stay in their homes. It's a beautiful thing. But sometimes we can't. Sometimes we need to make some adjustments. It's okay to get some assistance and get some help. And if we plan in advance for potential long-term care concerns, it might actually help our legacy. It might give us the ability to save a little bit of money on costs of premiums or create a legacy pool that's a little bit more efficient. But ultimately, creating a good plan does give us the ability to enjoy the time we have. And that's really what's important. And as we head into a Labor Day holiday weekend, I think it's really important to leave on that kind of a message. Enjoy the time we have. Enjoy the time closing out a pool. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to my parents' pool on Monday. We're going to hang out. We're going to barbecue. And we're going to enjoy that kind of unofficial last day of summer at the pool kind of a thing, right? That's what it's all about. Enjoy that time. Create those memories because you cannot recreate those. Memories last forever. That's a great legacy. Leave behind that legacy. Create those memories and leave those funds behind to those you love, not to the government. All right. Enjoy the Labor Day holiday, and we will talk to you soon.
This is Serenity Wealth Now with Chris Cooper. Request a free copy of Chris's latest book, The New Holistic Retirement, by visiting SerenityNowTax.com. That's SerenityNowTax.com.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.